This is KV Ramesh, Anthropology faculty, and we are dealing about PYQs in anthropology. And today's our question is, what is hominization process? Discuss the major trends in the human evolution with the help of suitable examples and illustrations. So this question came in exam 2023 for 20 marks. If you observe carefully, this question deals about the complete emergence of human beings. Complete emergence of human beings. The humans are byproduct of biological evolution similar to that of other organisms. But our place could be segregated from the animal kingdom because we possess the culture. That means we are all not animals. We are all humans itself is a different kingdom. So this is the specialization in anthropology, or anthropologists always seen that humans are separate from animal kingdom. That doesn't mean we never come from any another planet. So we are evolved from the another animals. That means we forgone the animal tribes. Animal tribes. That means that very simple. How did an animal become human? So this is the question. So here, to happens this, you should understand. So our evolution is simultaneous of biological evolution. So biological evolution and cultural evolution. Why? Because why we are different from animal kingdom or rest of the animals means because we possess the culture. That means our evolution, biological as well as cultural. So, and here the peculiarity is that the biological things helped us to create culture. That means modification of our anatomy led to creation of culture, and further creation of culture helped to modify our anatomy. That means it is interplay of biology as well as culture which made humans are unique. So in this context, now you can define what is hominization process. So hominization process is something in which evolutionary transformation of Homo genus from common ancestor of apes and humans. That means evolutionary transformation. So we moved, so hominid to hominin. Hominid to hominin. So hominin generally it contains 3 genuses. So what are all those? So which including Ardipithecus group. So Ardipithecus groups, the genus of Ardipithecus. Later on, from this genus, Australopithecines. So Australopithecus and Paranthropus. So from these Australopithecus and Paranthropus, there existed a further genus that is called Homo genus. That means we segregated from common ancestor of apes. Okay, so the common ancestor. So from this common ancestor, one way it proceeded from evolution of apes. Another way it proceeded from genus Homo. So before existence of this genus Homo, we passed Australopithecine stage and Ardipithecus stage. So this is animal. From animal form of life to we reached the Homo form of life. So this evolutionary transformation we can see in this line. So we are at Homo. Before on Homo, Australopithecines. Before on this, Ardipithecus. And what is the common ancestor means? So that recent paleontological evidence is showing that it is Dryopithecus. So from Dryopithecus, human line or hominin line and apes, so which came into being. So this is the biological transformation. So in biological transformation, so this is the stage of Dryopithecus. They are quadrupedal. So they are quadrupedal. So quadrupedal, walking by using the 4 legs. But if you see here, it is the Homo. Homo walking by using the 2 legs. That is bipedalism. So bipedalism. So here from quadrupedalism to bipedalism occurred inside the biology, inside the body. That is called biological evolution. So biological evolution. Understand? So now this biological evolution, here quadrupedalism. Okay, if you see here, this is the stage called Ardipithecus. Okay, at the same time, similarly, they have Australopithecines. So this is the Australopithecines, Ardipithecus, and this is the Homo habilis, Erectus, Neanderthal, and sapiens, Homo sapiens. So from here onwards, Homo genus or hominin. So these are all the intermediary between Dryopithecus as well as the Homo genus. One is Ardipithecus, another one is Australopithecines as well as so Paranthropus. So now here Dryopithecus quadrupedal, this is a semi bipedal, and this is fully bipedal. Habitual bipedalism. That means we move from one place to another place by using the 2 legs only. That is complete or habitual bipedalism. So these are sometimes we call as occasional bipedalism. That means the habitual bipedalism comes from occasional bipedalism. So these kind of perfect, so 90 degrees perfect, that is why it is called as erectus. So 90 degrees, vertically bipedalism come into being during the time of Homo erectus. That means it took millions of years to get perfected this bipedalism. Understand? So now this bipedalism, you can see here, these 4 limbs are used for walking purpose. But here when they are moved into occasional or semi-bipedalism or complete bipedalism, you can see these hands got freed. Understand? Here these front limbs are used for walking. Here front limbs have no role in the walking. That means these hand anatomy completely changed from walking to using the tools. At the same time, here we had that ability of climbing the trees. That means arboreal way of life. So arboreal way, arboreal life. At the same time, so here also we have some traits of arboreal. It is completely arboreal and ground dwelling also. But here, most of the time they were ground dwelling, and still we have some arboreal life. When it comes to here genus Homo, we lost the ability of arboreal life. Arboreal life. So, and it is the same time climatically disappearance of the forests. Now you can see here they completely dwell on the trees and they survived on the basis of nuts, fruits and everything. And here in the genus Homo, we lost the ability of climbing trees and the forests were also disappeared. And here the only way we have to survive is through eating the meat rather than fruits, nuts, etc. So that means meat eating. So when we lost the arboreal way of life, we dependent for our survival. So by consuming the meat eating. So it requires meat eating requires hunting skills. Hunting skills required usage of various tools and weapons. That means obviously the material culture come into being because of our anatomical modification from quadrupedalism to bipedalism. So here, so this is how human evolution got proceeded. So now you can see, so the biologically, when we became quadrupedal to bipedal, the material culture came into being. So when we became bipedal, material culture came into being in the form of tools making. So now you can see this material culture, which was tools making used for hunting activity. So hunting activity further helped us our biological changes. Okay, so these biological changes further helped us to create new cultural elements. So this is how it is interplay of our evolution was not solely guided by the nature. Okay, our evolution guided by ourselves. Though initially nature helped us by becoming quadrupedal to bipedal, but later after bipedal, we guided our own evolution rather than the nature. So that's why our evolution we called as a biocultural evolution. So now we come to know that so other animals evolved through natural selection. We evolved initially from natural selection, later we guided our own evolution. So that's why Sherwood and L. Washburn he called our evolution is biocultural feedback. So, and you can see Lumsden and Evo Wilson, they call it as a gene and cultural co-evolution. So this is the conclusion you have to write. So what do you mean by hominin evolution or hominization process? So now you can see, so the bipedalism, okay, non-honing chewing complex, so encephalization and changes in the larynx and brain that led to the production of the creation of the language. So the second part of the question is major trends. Major trends in hominization process was, the first one is biological evolution. Second one is changes in skull, teeth. And third one is encephalization of the brain. So increasing the volume of brain. And fourth one is changes in larynx. So larynx here to bring the vocal sounds in the form of language. So these are all the major trends. So this led to the creation of the tools because of freeing hands, hunting activity for their survival. So invention of the fire, so which led to the changes in the food habits, digestive system and etc. So social bonding. So these are all the things you have to illustrate. So now I am going to show you illustration. The first one is bipedalism. So bipedalism, so changed anatomically here foramen magnum. Foramen magnum is nothing but the hole in the base of the skull. So through which vertebral column passes into the brain as well as the outside. So this is called vertebral column. Somewhere else comes as a hole base of the skull. So spinal cord. Spinal cord is generally S shape in our body because it gives forward and backward movement easy. Lumbar vertebrate. Here these are all the lumbar vertebrates. Here we have 5, but apes have only 4. So this 5 lumbar vertebrate give easy forward and backward movement. So pelvic region. This pelvic region, it became broad and bowl-like. And femur. So this femur has the head is broad. So huge head and inward inclination. So that femur, that also helped the bipedalism very easy. So knee joints. So knee joints also helped our bipedalism. So tibia and the feet. So feet also got modified. So these are all anatomical changes due to erect postures. That means bipedalism. So now, why did humans became bipedal? Means there are various hypotheses or theories which explain. Hunting hypothesis, because so when humans come down from the arboreal life to terrestrial life, they have to survive by hunting only. So hunting provided the food for their survival. So in this hunting process, the weapons are required to kill the animal. So weapons can hold only when front limbs are freed. That's why hunting made front hands are free, rear and legs are used for walking purpose. So here patchy forest area, that means climatic changes descending from arboreal life to terrestrial life. So that is also provisioning hypothesis here. So free hands collect more food than the, so if the animal is going like quadrupedalism, so only mouth can hold the food. If animal is using only 2 legs for walking and 2 limbs are free, these freed limbs can hold more food. So that means provisioning, holding more food. So these might be the reasons humans became, so that means during the Ardipithecus time, so it became bipedal. So when it comes to the bipedalism, when did bipedalism origin in human line means? So in hominin line during the Ardipithecus time. So Ardipithecus time. So we have, that means Ardipithecus, it is a group of, it is a genus. Genus basically have many species among them. So one of the species nothing but Shailanthropus chardinensis. So which had survived around 6 to 7 million years ago. So here the seeds of bipedalism come into being. And during the Australopithecines time, so Australopithecines is a genus which has more number of species. So more species inside the genus Australopithecine have shown the bipedalism. So which come into being around 4.4 million years ago. So early seeds were around 6 to 7 million years ago. So bipedalism somewhat advanced in Australopithecine time during the time of 4.4 million years ago. When it comes to the Homo genus, so during the time of 2 to 1.5 million years ago, bipedalism got perfected. Understand? So Homo habilis as well as Homo erectus, they became 90 degrees perfected bipedalism. So this is the examples you have to quote. Understand? So now if you come to the illustration, so here you can see bipedalism, which led to the freeing hands. Freeing hands led to the creation of tools. Tools usage came into being because of free hands hold the weapons. So tools creation and usage for hunting activities. So this hunting activity could not be done because the human evolution occurred during the Ice Age. So Pleistocene and human evolution. So Pleistocene period, human evolution occurred. Pleistocene, basically it is a Ice Age. Ice Age animals were generally gigantic in nature. So it could be very difficult to kill a gigantic animal. So all the humans come together. That means cooperation. That means male to male bond developed because of hunting activity. Hunting got developed because of freed hands and loss of the ability of arboreal life. Right? So arboreal life led to the loss of arboreal life led to the bipedalism. Bipedalism led to the freeing hands. Freeing hands led to the involving in the hunting activities. So here involving hunting activities led to the creation of male-male cooperation for hunting, as well as they have to be checking out new strategies. So different animals require different strategies to hunt and kill. So this is how whenever there is a shortage of food occurred, they have to create a new strategy for their survival through hunting or migrating from one place to another place. And these hunting, earlier before hunting, that means eating of the meat consumption, they had to depend upon the nuts as well as fruits. Now, because we lost the ability and disappearance of the forest led to we changed our dieting habits from nuts and fruits to meat eating. Okay, so and this meat eating hunting requires lot of area to be covered. Novelty began. So that means, these kind of new experiences in our brain led to the creation of pressure on the brain. So these pressure led to the expansion of the brain region. So expansion of the brain region led to the increasing the size of the head. So when size of the head increases, what about that birth canal? So birth canal also has to be increased. So now the brain volume increased, from which head size increased. So it should be accommodated for delivery process. The birth canal in women got increased. So this led to the widening of the hip region. So widening of the hip region as well as pelvic region among the female. So there the physiological changes between male and female got separated. That means, so whatever we are seeing, the female biology, male biology differences occurred because of bipedalism and the delivery process. Understand? So this is the first part of change. So now you can see that the female biology changes occurred because of hunting activity. That means hunting activity itself comes under the culture. through which male and a female physiology change or bodily changes occurred through cultural activity. How culture got biological changes in genus Homo means this is how you have to explain. So now you can see that. So once this process is over, okay, now you can see. So now you can see that. So when brain size increased, so the human infants born with immature brain. So immature brain is nothing but small sized brain. Small sized brain. In small sized brain, they could not live independently. They could not live or they could not take care of themselves. So that's the reason they depended on the mothers for their survivals. So human infants are born immature. To get maturity, it takes a lot of time. All this time they depended on the mother. So thereby it curtailed the mobility of mother. So it curtailed the mobility of mother. So here mother requires food, the continuous pregnancies as well as the dependencies of born children. That led to the female has to take care about the children as well as herself and pregnancies. So here the female required cooperation from the male. That led to the emergence of male-female bond. So this led to the division of labor, where generally male take care of the women as well as the children born to that woman through providing food, that is through hunting process. Female, she has to take care about herself as well as the child rearing. So this practice was segregated between the different genders that we called as division of labor. So this division of labor gave adaptation for survival of the human beings. So there existed a marriages and other social customs. Now you can see the marriages we had created, they were the direct result of female immobility. Female immobility was direct result of immature brains that human infants. Understand? This immaturity caused because of expansion of the human brain. Understand? That means our social customs such as marriages, family and everything, they were direct result of biological or anatomical changes in our body. Understand? So this is the second illustration. How biology was the reason for creation of the social customs as well as the cultural activities such as hunting, creation of the tools, etc. So along with eating of meat during the time of Homo erectus, so we had created fire. So invention of the fire. So invention of the fire that led to the protection of humans from the cold. So keeping away the predators, because of by using the fire, okay, reduced the parasitic infections because now they are eating cooked food, roasted meat. So that's why these advantages are there, and it also extended the daytime. Before fire, they might sleep by the dawn of the sun. Okay, so now because of the light it gives by the fire, they extended the activity time. So daytime got extended. So around the campfire, all the people sit together and they discussed gradually the emotions, okay, bonds among the members come into being. Okay, so that is the another advantage of creating the fire. The second one is changes in the skull and face region, because the raw meat consumption had very difficulty in chewing, that led to the expansion or strengthening of the lower jaws, and the tearing of that meat, chewing of that meat requires bigger size teeth. So now the meat became the soft meat put less pressure on the dentation, teeth, muscles, thereby the prognatism, the contours, the size of the teeth, everything reduced. So apart from that, the digestive system now, which has to be break down the already simplified food outside in the form of roasting. So digestive system, facial system, everything which got changed because of cooked meat. So here fire invention is a cultural thing. So fire invention is a cultural thing, through which what happens? Digestive system modification, through which teeth modification, jaw modification, Okay, so these are all the result of the cultural activity that we had created, that is called file. Understand? So this is another illustration how biological changes created culture, cultural changes created biological changes again. So now another dimension in the evolution. So emergence of language. So now eating of, so high pressure on the brain, high pressure on the brain, as well as eating of cooked meat. The major trends regarding bipedalism. So bipedalism. The second one is, so encephalization of the brain. Encephalization of the brain. And third one is reduction. So chewing related to reduction in the facial. So these are all the anatomical trends which led to the human evolution. So this collectively led to the birth of culture and social relationships. And these again modified our biology. So this is how our evolution is unique among all the species or belongs to animal kingdom. So this is how you have to justify illustrations, examples, and a definition of the hominization process.